Let's Shop Live, Let's Shop Cake Live. Welcome back to Let's Shop Cake Live. So we are here this evening, or I am here this evening, to do another edition of Let's Shop. It's been a while. And we've had the summer off, or it makes it sound like I've been on a permanent holiday, but I have actually been busy working away in the background, making up lots of new things for you to have a look at tonight and going forward into Christmas. I've been busy cake painting. I have been on holiday as well, but I am here now and back again for a little while to do Let's Shop Cake Live. So welcome everyone. If you've not joined us before, this is, I'm Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes, and this is my shopping channel. So on here, what we do is we will show you lots of different products that me have come up with, and then if you like them, you can buy them. So we're based in the UK. You can see the address up on the screen there at the moment. So if you do want to buy anything, then the address is on there. Kelly is watching from the Netherlands. Good morning, Kelly. Oh no, that's Wayne who's in the morning. It's Kelly's in the evening. So Kelly is in the Netherlands. So she is watching this evening as well. So we will hopefully have for you tonight a packed show of everything that we have got coming up for autumn and Halloween. So Halloween is coming. So it actually makes it marginally easier for me to do it tonight than it did on Saturday when it was 32 degrees here, and it seemed a little bit silly to be doing Halloween in the heat, but now everything's calming down a little bit. We've got the dark nights coming in. It's time to get creative, as Kelly and I would say. It's time to get all your paints and everything out again and have a go at doing some nice baking and that ready for all the seasonal events that are coming up shortly, and there are quite a few of them coming up. So we all know that Christmas is around the corner. Well, yes, we are going to talk about it because one of the cake painting classes is been out already for Christmas, and we will run through that shortly. So welcome. You are, if you want to make any comments while I'm live, please feel free to ask any questions. I don't mind at all. Be more than happy to help you. But as it is, we will carry on running through everything. And if you want to ask any questions after the live, then you are welcome to get in contact with me after the live has finished. If you join me halfway through and you think, oh, I've missed it all, you can. Once the live is finished, you'll be able to go back and watch it again. So we're live currently now on Facebook. We're also streaming on YouTube. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you just need to go to this address here. So it's very familiar here, at Tracey Mann Cakes. What a surprise. So that we are streaming on YouTube at the moment as well. So again, you'll be able to go back and watch that afterwards. I've got to get my head around what I'm doing because I have been in cake party mode for the last few days. For those of you that know, I've launched cake decorating parties in pubs in the last week or so with my friend Debbie. I've been in that mode now for a week or so. So I'm now shifting into my Let's Shop cake mode and my cake painting mode while I go off and do all these other things that are coming up over the next few weeks. So I will tell you all about those as we go. So we're not going to be live this Saturday. So I've just noticed I need to plug my phone in, because if I don't, it's going to be flat and you won't be able to actually see anything I'm doing this evening. It's a very important point there. So yes, I've got lots of different things coming up over the weekend, so I'm going to show you some of those as we go. Right, okay, so we always start with my cake school. So the cake school is in a different place to the products that we normally show, but they are connected. So we will start off with the cake school. We've had a very busy summer since I've been on here, so we have had, got to find the button here. You have to bear with me this evening. You've got to bear in mind I've not been live for a while, so I'm a bit sort of, where is everything? I even walked in here tonight and went, where are my paintbrushes? Where's my rolling pin? Can't find my 1M nozzle anywhere. So certain things have gone missing. But anyway, the majority of it is here. So we'll see how we go. So we are going to do some Halloween bits and pieces tonight. But we always start with the cake school and have a look at some of the things that we've got coming up on the cake school. And as I say, we have been very, very busy. We've had a lot of classes that have come out. And from the last time that I was on Let's Shop to now, so we're going to just have a look at some of those and see where we are. So let me find them. That's the first thing. Or did I decide in the end to pick them up? No, I decided to pick them up in the end. Right, so we have had this one come out on the 2nd. There we go. Let me turn that round that way. Did I change that address? Yes, I did. Look at me, I'm more organised than I know. So this is a new class that we had come out. I'm going to hold that up there. You will have seen it just before, but it came out on the 2nd of September, so about 10 days ago, roughly. I'm lost where we are in the month, but roughly 10, 11 days ago. This is now available, so if you are thinking you'd like to have a go at painting cake scenery, this class is now available online on the Cake School. So with the Cake School, you have the option to buy the class, or you have the option to join as a monthly member. Some of you are buying classes, and some of you are busy joining as monthly members. Now, as a monthly member, you can get access to, certainly with gold membership, everything that I do, and I do a lot of classes, and all my gold members that are on here will know I do a lot of classes, mainly cake painting, but we also do a lot of cupcake bouquets, and we do buttercream, we do royal icing. I've got a whole module on royal icing, chocolate paste as well, so there's masses to choose from on the site, so you will have lots of access to lots of different things there. But that one is the Mediterranean cake painting scene. There we go, it's very 3D. It always looks much harder than it actually is, she says. This one is fairly complicated, but it's more detail than anything else. So if you're a detail person and you enjoy doing things like that, you will enjoy doing this. And it's all done step by step, so there's no sort of like scary moments or anything. We will do this step by step. We will do this step by step. And then we have had also a cactus cupcake bouquet, which I'm just putting up on the screen there now. So they've had this one also during the time that I've been off Let's Shop Cake Live. So we carry on expanding our cupcake bouquet part of our school, so there's now quite a few bouquets on there and more to come. So there's lots of opportunity on there if you want to have a go at making cupcake bouquets. So perhaps if that's something you're interested in, then again you can buy the class outright, or you can join as a gold member for cupcake bouquets. They've got access to them, so if you're particularly interested in that side of it, gold membership is still at $12.50 a month. Everything else is going up, but I can assure you that the membership isn't at the moment. The membership has been steady now all year, or since we started actually. So the school has been running 2 years, coming up shortly, very shortly, and we haven't changed our prices the whole time. So we're very stable. We just like to offer everybody an opportunity to have a go at making something really nice. And for the price of $12.50, which is, Kelly will tell me, I don't know, maybe 3 Starbucks, maybe 2, I'm not sure how much they are, you have a whole month's access to every class that I do at gold membership. So it's a really nice, it's a nice way to have some time to do some other cakey bits and pieces. So we've had that one as well. But the big one that we're about to move on to is, of course, Christmas, and I am going to mention it because it's coming. And the one thing that I am going to be launching, or have launched already, it's going to feature heavily when I go to Cake International. It's also going to feature this weekend when I go to the British Sugar Craft Guild exhibition at Cranmore Park, I think it's called. I nearly called it school then. Cranmore Park. I had to check my notes. It's called Cranmore Park. And that is in Solihull, and I will be there this weekend. We've had a beginner's cake painting class before, but now we have got a beginner's Christmas cake painting class. So this is our brand new class. It is available now. So it's already up on the site. There is lots of stuff to go with this. So we're going to talk through the whole process with this in just a minute. So we've got 4 images. People keep saying to me, are they patchwork cutters? And the answer to that is no, they are not patchwork cutters. They are images that you're going to put onto the sugar paste yourself. And if you're someone like me who likes to be really organised for Christmas and get everything done in advance, then this is a brilliant opportunity to get your Christmas plaques all done, so that when you come to ice your cakes nearer Christmas, you can just pop them on top. They are based on little 6-inch round discs or cake cards, and that's what I've done them on. So you'll be able to get them all ready, and then when your cakes are done, you can just literally slide them on top of your cake and job done. Nice and easy. So it's one of those things for Christmas you can actually get done in advance, and I'm really pleased with these. So these are for beginners. So if you're on my cake school at all and you have access to gold, silver or bronze membership, they are included in all of the memberships except for Sugarcraft, which doesn't include any cake painting. So if you're gold, silver or bronze member, you already will have access to this class. So it's available now. If anybody would like to have a go, again, you can join as a member, or you can sign up for the class. It's £30 to buy it, and then you get to keep it forever. So it's entirely up to you, whichever way round you would like to do it. Now, on the basis that it is a beginner's class, we have a beginner's kit as well, which goes exactly with this particular class, and I will go through that in just a second and I'll show you what that looks like. So if you're starting from scratch and you think, oh, I'd love to have a go at that, but I haven't got any stuff at all. We've got a kit that matches that class available, so I'll show you that in a second. It is different from our other kit. We have got a beginner's cocoa butter painting kit, but that what matches the beginner's cocoa butter painting course. So the Christmas one goes with the Christmas course and the other one goes with the other beginner's course, if that makes sense. And there is a certificate. So if you are one of these people who love to do a certificate, who love to get a certificate, and you paint all 4 images, then there is an opportunity to get a certificate as well to say you've done it. So that's going to be available as well. And all you need to do is send them to me, or if you're a member of the Gold membership group, for example, on Facebook, you'll just post them on there so I can see what you've done, and then you'll get your certificate. So there is an opportunity as well to feel a sense of achievement that you've actually done it and got through them all, which is really nice, because sometimes it's too easy to sign up for a course and then go, yeah, it's fine. This is going to hopefully inspire you all between now and the 25th of December, which is the period of time I've set to do this, a beginner's Christmas cake painting challenge. So it should be a really nice challenge for some of you to do. So if you're looking at it and thinking, well, I've never done cake painting before, I've always looked at it and quite fancied the idea, well, this is totally about Christmas, this one, which for some people is an added bonus because you always have to do extra Christmas cakes. So hopefully there will be enough in there to keep you occupied. So if you're getting your fruit cakes done, if that's what you're making, you will be able to use these plaques on top of that. You can paint straight onto your cakes, of course, but for beginners, it's much easier to paint onto a plaque and then you can go from there. So it's quite a nice way to start. So there is a kit with it, and as I say, we're going to run through that in just a second. I did decide in the except I can't remember what I did with it, which is about typical for me, isn't it? So yes, I've buried it under here, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. So I decided that I didn't use too many colours, but I did use some more specific colours for this particular beginner's class, and that's why it warranted having its own kit. So there we go. So that's what it looks like. That's our beginner's Christmas cake painting kit. It's very nice, isn't it? So it comes in a box like so. If I open it up there for you, and I'm just going to run through. We've included this time some luster dust. So we've included Wonder Dust Snowstorm and Bright Gold. We've got both of those in stock individually. So if you're already a member but you need these colours, then you can buy those separately. We've also put in here 4 paintbrushes. There should be 4, there's one buried in there somewhere, yeah, under there, which are the paintbrushes that I use on my course. When I talk about how to paint things, I'll say, oh, it's a 0 brush, a 1 brush, number 2, and then I know you've got the right paintbrush in your hands. We've given you some cocoa butter, because obviously that's what you need in order to be able to paint. And then we have some different colours from the other kit. So we have egg yellow, gooseberry brown, Cornish cream and red. Also black and white, which are 2 colours that you need for the painting course anyway. So they're really important colours. And we're going to have a little talk about white in just a second, just to clear up a little bit of mystery with around white, which has been a bit of a problem recently. So we'll just run through that. There's also a metal paint palette in the bottom there. And again, on the video, it's going to show you how to assemble all of this, put it all together and how you'll be able to use it. But it would make a lovely Christmas present for someone, even if it's beyond Christmas. We still do a beginner's cocoa butter painting kit that you could have to go with the other course, or if you're feeling inspired and you want to have a go before Christmas, then this is the kit specifically for that beginner's course. Now, we don't use a huge amount of bright gold on there, but I have included it because it's a fantastic colour. I've been waiting for the Wonder Dust to come in from Sugar and Crumbs for a while, but they finally arrived. We're really happy about that because they are such lovely colours. You'll see me using another one of them later on tonight, which is the Regal Purple colour, which is a really nice colour as well. So there's 100 grams of cocoa butter in there. That will probably take you till 2024 to actually get through it. Bearing in mind that I paint all the time, it takes me ages to get through one of these bags. So you will not need to end up replacing this bag at the end of the course. I think I'll make it quite clear that once you've completed your course, you're going to have so much stuff left in this box that you will be able to carry on painting for a considerable period of time. And the only things you'll need to add on will be things like black and white, and you might decide you might want some more paintbrushes, but other than that you will near enough have enough to keep going with this kit for a period of time. I would imagine you could probably paint the course at least 10 times over before you have a problem. So it's a nice kit that's going to last you a long period of time. So it's in now. We did have it's coming right, it is now here because we've been waiting for the Wonder Dust, but it is all available now, and that is on Let's Shop Cake Live. There's been been a few links going up for it, so you'll see that that's been coming up. So that is going to be, as I say, that is on now. Let me come back on here. So it's available for you to go have a go at. It's going to be very nice. What was I going to say about the beginners one? There's also the certificate. I think I mentioned that, didn't I? Yes, I did. So yeah, that's it. So that's our big challenge. We're going to be taking these on Saturday to the British Sugar Craft Guild. So they will have access to these as well. If they want to get one, they will be able to. But the course, as I say, is available on all 3 memberships except Sugar Craft Bronze, Silver, Gold. But also it will be available to buy for £30. So if you want to keep it, membership ticks away and you have access to everything as long as you pay your membership. When you stop paying your membership, then you don't have access to it. So it works like that. So monthly membership you pay and you have access. This one, as I say, you can buy it outright and keep it. So there we go. So that is the new kit. I'm very pleased with that. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about was the white. So we've had some changes with the laws recently in Europe with regards to E171. Now E171 is titanium dioxide, and that is a dusting colour basically, and if you live in Europe you can't have it anymore. It's as simple as that. Sugar Flare, which is the company I normally use, I still do use them, there we are, that's what Sugar Flare looks like. So it's one of these. And we use Edible Art as well. Now Edible Art white isn't available anymore, so we are switching. We're switching over to PME white, which we do have, well, we will have it in stock when it comes in on Monday, might even be here tomorrow, and that has got E171 in. So if you live in Europe, we can't send you anything that's got E171 in it. Now I'm saying all this and you're thinking, oh, why do I need to know about E171? What's that all about? What we have found is that if it doesn't have E171 in it, the white isn't white. It's actually sort of a murky grey colour, which means that the shading is extremely difficult, and it is not very effective at all. So I'm really sorry if you live in Europe, but I'm hoping they come up with an alternative at some point, because this is exactly what you need, which is white that contains E171. So from our point of view, we're no longer going to be stocking anything white that doesn't have E171 in it. So everything you buy from us will have it in it. So if you're living in Europe, that's a little bit more tricky, I'm afraid. We won't be able to sell that to you. Sugar Flare have split their colours. So you might see, if I show you that up there like that, you can see one's got a white backing and one's got a gold backing. The ones in white, they're the ones that don't have E171 in, and the ones that have the gold do have E171 in. So again, if you live in Europe, you won't be getting Cornish cream either, because it's also got it in it. It's very complicated, but anyway, that's where we are. So white is all been changed on our website. So you'll see on Let's Shop that there has now been listed 3 new colours. One is called Spring Green, which again is a new colour we've started, black, and this one. So we are having to replace some of our colours in places, so you'll see some changes going on there, but they are in the kit, so that's all ready to go. So there we go. So that kit again is 1, 2, I forgot to count them in dusting colours. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 2 Wonder Dusts. Now the Wonder Dusts are way more expensive than the Sugar Flares, so that's why the box is a tiny bit more, because the luster colours are a bit more expensive, but they're so nice. They are key, and I'm going to use them all evening, so you're going to see them anyway, using them in different forms. So not just on the cake painting course, but also all cookie decorating and all these other things that you can do with it. So don't be kind of put off and think, oh well, I'm only going to use it for one thing, because you won't. It's such a nice colour. And Bright Gold's been out of stock actually for quite a while, but we've managed to get it back in now, so very exciting. It's nice to have it back. So get ready for Christmas, that's all I'm going to say. Right, okay, so where have we got to? I've written everything down because obviously my memory is appalling. So this weekend I'm at Cranmore Park. I need to just recap on that again, in Solihull. So if you're in that direction and you are around, the British Sugar Craft Guild are holding one of their annual guild meeting things where you go along and it's a nice day out. What do they call it? Gala day. I've got to get my words right here. It's a gala day, and there'll be myself and Karen Davis and Alan Dunn and Vicky Tether. me think, Immaculate Collections, Lindy Smith. There's loads of us going. So if you want to come up and spend the day doing a bit of sugar craft and just meeting a few people, then it's going to be a really nice day out. So I will be there with my cake painting, obviously, talking about Christmas, driving everyone crazy. Then I will be there on Saturday. So I will be doing Cake International. I've had a few people ask me about that already. That is coming. So I will be doing that as well with hopefully Charlotte and Kelly. Kelly's talked about coming over from the Netherlands to join us. So we will be there, and we will be doing cake painting the whole time. So come along and have a look and see what we're up to and see if it's something we can talk you into. I'm sure it's a very nice hobby. We're looking now outside, it's getting dark, it's just coming up to 7:15 or 7:20. It's now time to maybe sit inside and do some nice painting. It's not too hot either. We don't need it hot. It's not very easy to paint with cocoa butter when it's hot. So now the temperatures are coming down a bit, it should be a lot easier for you. Right, okay, so we've done that bit. So we know what's coming, don't we? It's Halloween, isn't it? And we always do a nice big programme on Halloween. And because I'm not here for a few Saturdays or the next few Saturdays, I thought, well, we'll just do full on Halloween and autumn tonight. And then we're going to pick it up again at the beginning of October because, as I say, I've got a few other bits and pieces coming up. And actually, we may have to shift around on some of the Saturdays and do a few more evenings. But you don't mind because you all turn up anyway. And if you want to watch it on a Saturday morning, you can still watch it on a Saturday morning and stay in bed and watch it. So it all works. So we'll just run with it. But we are looking at Halloween tonight. Halloween's not very far away, but I have looked a little bit at autumn as well because I just thought, well, somebody might not want to do all Halloween. So there's a little bit else going on as well. So it's a cute part of autumn. So stay tuned for that. So we've obviously got chocolate moulds that we have got in. So I will get my lovely chocolate moulds over. And then we're going to look at some of the cookie cutters that we've got for this year and what I've done with them already. So we've got some new cookie cutters. Of course we have. So we've got some brand new cookie cutters for Halloween. Very exciting. So you can do treat boxes and things. I think the nice thing about Halloween actually is you can make up really nice treat bags and you can hand those out. So if someone knocks on your door, you know, you don't have to have the traditional bowl of sweets. You can hand out a cookie bag. And I have got these cookie bags in, which are these Halloween ones in. I haven't got many of them. But if you want to have a go with these, there's 20 in the pack. They're Wilton ones. And again, you can put your cookies and bits and pieces in there for Halloween, and also the treat boxes. So I did keep this. I don't know, Kelly will be amazed I kept this treat box that we made up last year, which contains some of the bits and pieces that we've got already. So we'll have a quick look at that before we start looking at all the new stuff. There we go. Some of you might remember this from last year. All the light shining on it a bit. Let me see if I can tip it. There's a very strong light next to me. Where's that coming? Oh, it's because the lid. Let me take the lid off. There you go. You see a bit better. Perfect. Right. So these are some of the little bits and pieces that we were busy making last year, and they are all available this year. So we are going to just run through these quickly before we start looking at all of the new bits and pieces that we've got. I'm very glad I kept these because I'm very pleased with myself. So in terms of sprinkle mixes this year, we've got 3 different sprinkle mixes. We've not had 3 before. We normally have 2. We've got 3 this year. We have got, Kelly's going to tell me off because I shall call it the wrong name. We have got our cauldron mix, which is this one here. I'm going to take the lid off actually because again it's shining. You can see it on the cauldron there. Okay, so this is called cauldron mix. You get 60 grams. This is just a small pot, so don't get thinking it's just that. So this is our cauldron here with this particular mix on it. Okay, and then we used these pearls here, which are also available to make little eyeballs. There they are. These are 7mm white pearls, and then we just put a little black dot on them and we made our lovely cauldron mix there. So that was quite fun from the word go. So that's also something you can get involved with. We've also got the potion mix, which is again the one we had last year. So we went wild last year with potion bottles. There's one there. You can see our potion bottles. We've got 2 potion bottle cookie cutters, which are on the website. I'm sure, oh, I've got a picture actually. Let's have a look at the picture. There they are. These are all the potion bottles from last year. So that they come in a set of 2. You'll see them up on the screen at the moment. We made all of these last year, and I say we, I mean Kelly made these all last year. You can see this using the Regal Purple. We've used all the cauldron mixes, the potion mixes, all these different ones that we had, and we have these labels which are also available for you to cut out and stick on your bottles. which we'll be doing a few more of these later on, so you'll understand that later. So this is our labels from last year. So these are the ones that we're using again this year. They were so good. I thought we're going to keep these. We have changed quite a bit, but we've also kept the core stuff that we think is really good, or I think is really good. And these are definitely ones that we had that were brilliant, because they fitted really nicely onto these cookie cutters there, like so. So you can see those. Okay. We've also got, this is the new one, so I've got to just hope I get this name right, or Kelly's going to start laughing. I think I called it Magic Spell Mix or something. She'll tell me in a minute. Anyway, this is the Magic Spell Mix. So this is the new one this year. So if I move that down there a second, you'll see all three of them together. There we go. That's it. That's good. Right, so this is our Magic Spell Mix. Have I got that right, Kelly? Yes, I think I have. This is our potion mix, and that is our cauldron mix. So we've got 3 different ones this year for making Halloween bits and pieces. And we have just picked out some really nice colours. So there's gold, silver and little blue pearls in there, a bit more of a green one in there, and then the purple and orange to more traditional sort of Halloween colours in there. So you get 60 grams of each one. If you decide to order these, they are available now. So if you do want to do that and decorate your cupcakes and cookies with bits and pieces like that. And then also we have the eyeballs as well, so don't forget about those. So there's quite a lot. Magic Spell Mix, but first it was Wizard Spell Mix. Now we keep changing the name of this. Every time I started to say to Kelly, oh yeah, I've got this new sprinkle mix, and I'd say the name, and then and next time I spoke to her, I'd say something else. It's basically about spells, Kelly, and there's somewhere it's something spell. So Kelly, Magic Spell Mix. There we go. That's it. What was I calling it? Wizard Spells or something? I don't know. Anyway, Magic Spell Mix. I just wanted a name that sounded fabulous, and I think that sounds pretty fabulous. So we'll run with Magic Spell. So that's the Magic Spell one. That's the potion one, and that's the cauldron mix, and that's the eyeballs. So those are the main ones for Halloween. We've also got the ghost eyes as well. I say ghost eyes, we actually use these eyes for absolutely everything, which are the pearls, the 4mm black pearls here. We use them on we've used them on literally everything, going all through Christmas, all seasonal, to be honest. So we just call them eyes, I think. We'll just stick to that. That would be the easiest thing to call them. So yes, we've got these here, which are really nice as well. So any of those. And again, with these, they haven't got eyeballs on them at the moment, so you could see you could use them for other things. I think the most important thing is just to kind of make sure we can use them for lots of other things. Lots of this stuff tends to scream a little bit Harry Potter. So if you are someone who's perhaps doing a little, I don't know, Harry Potter party or something, and you want to make up a few cauldrons and spooky things, then all of this works quite nicely as well. So I'm going to just move some of these out of the way because I've got rather a habit of chucking things everywhere. So we'll get those out and bring this back in again. So we had last year and the year before, we had the little ghost. There he is. That's our mini ghost. That's the tiny little mini ghost. He's very cute. And then any of you who are very clever and have spotted it already, if you turn him round that way, he becomes a pumpkin as well. So we then turned him into a pumpkin last year. So that's what we did with our mini ghost from last year. We have got a new ghost this year. We've got a spooky ghost, which you'll see shortly. So we'll show you that as well. We have Ugly Witch, which was a chocolate lolly. There we go. So we've got her back as well. So she sold really well. Everybody liked her. So we've got her back. And again, she's been painted with cocoa butter and dusting colours, which you'll see shortly when we do some of the cookies. So it'll be just done in exactly the same way. It's a little bit like pottery painting by numbers. You're literally just going to follow along everything that's been sort of marked out by the chocolate and paint it. It's good fun. And then we have Boo. There we go. We've got a few Boos tonight. Obviously, I must have been in Boo mode when I came up with some of this stuff. But we've got a big chocolate Boo that can go on the front of the cake as well. A little ghost and devil and bat and all sorts of things. So you can kind of go wild with it, really, and just come up with your own thing. This one was part of a Halloween topper. There was 3 different ones on there. Kelly will put up what they are because I can't remember what it was, but there are some 3 different things on there. One is the owl. and then there was 3 others, but Kelly will tell me what they are in a minute. But that was the selection that we had from last year, and obviously we're going to move on and do some new stuff this year, so you'll be seeing all the new stuff in just a second. But all of this stuff is available now. The cauldrons I'm just putting up on there now so you can see them. We have a large cauldron and a mini cauldron. So the mini ones that we make, they fit on top of cupcakes, and that's the point. So we have them so they fit on top of cupcakes, and then the larger ones, they go inside lots of treat backs and things. So it's nice to see that the stuff that we came up with last year. Some of you are new to Let's Shop, some of you have been following us for shorter time than some of you have been here longer. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Owl, haunted house and cat, that was it. So that one with the little owl on there, there's oh, I might have it actually in front of me. What am I even doing here? Have I got that one? I had that in my box earlier today. Let me find it. That one. Little rummage here. Yeah. Look at this for organisation here. I've got it. Perfect. Right, let's go onto this screen. Press that one. There we go. So this is, I'm going to just move these a minute. Chocolate moulds have a horrible habit of avalanching at all the wrong moments. So you can see the owl in the middle there, and then there's a little haunted house to the right, and then that is a little cat to the left by the moon. So it comes on a sheet of chocolates there. So it's 1, 2, 3, so it's 9 on a sheet for that particular one, okay? So I'm going to move this slowly out of the way because I'm just going to run through some of the ones that we've got in. So we've got our 3D witch. She, again, you make in 2 halves, fold together and paint. We did her last year as well. She was very nice. We have got our lovely pumpkin, which we've had literally every year since we have started selling moulds. It's extremely popular, this one, because it makes such a nice shape, and you can do it as a hollow, fill it with sweets. I wonder if that was meant to be like a piñata where you smash it up. I don't know, but you could certainly do it as a piñata. So it's a really, really nice mould, that one. Obviously in ghost mode at the moment. So we have got large spooky ghosts, and then I did little ones, which you'll see coming up in a minute on a cake. So we've got little ones there. Let's swap those over and you'll see, oops, I've gone off screen a little bit. There we go. There's a little ghost one there. And if I put this up on screen now, you'll see what they look like on top of a cake. So that was a cake I did last year. And if you see at the bottom there, you can see the boo, which is the one I showed you a minute ago that's in orange, and it was just painted up in some different colours to match that cake. So that was fun to do as well. So again, the little ghost mould is there. Let's go back down there. 2 more to look at, and then we can start launching in all the new stuff. So we've got the large pumpkin as well, and we have the small one. We've also got a spider mould, but we haven't got many spider moulds in, so they will be gone quite quickly, I think, this year. So if you do want a spider one, then I won't put it up on screen, but it's just a sheet of spiders. Yeah, I won't do that, scare anybody, but there's just a sheet of spiders. So these are the 2 pumpkins. These are very large ones, and these are much smaller, much more kind of suitable for treat bags. I was thinking of the word then. I was thinking of exactly what word it is. But anyway, there you go. That's the kind of thing that you can do with those. All right. So there are many, many videos on all this stuff I did on Halloween on my YouTube channel. Huge amounts of stuff. So if you want to have a look at some point at some of the Halloween stuff that I've done in the past, in terms of melting chocolate, creating cakes, all that stuff, it is all on YouTube. So if you would go over to there, you'll be able to find everything you need. You'll see a lot of these moulds that I've been using already, and you will be able to see that. Somebody has just put up about the bat sugar sheet. How coincidental is that? Because that is exactly what I've got next. I had it in my hand. So we have got, I'm so pleased to have this back as well, because we introduced this very late last year, and this is a sugar sheet with bats on it. It's great. Okay, why would we want this? What are we going to do with it? Well, we had an amazing little cake last year, and what I did, so this is on a sugar sheet, so you'll peel this back. It is very humid at the moment, so if you find it difficult to get it off the sheet, then you just literally put it, I've always put mine into the freezer for literally about 30 seconds, and then they come off with no problem at all. And all we did was cut round the bats, and put them onto some sugar paste with a little bit of water, and then I set in there a cocktail stick, and you'll be able to see them in a minute. Where are we? Ooh, I'll put a picture of this one up, I'm sure. There it is. Right. This was, let's take my YouTube thing down, that's not helpful. Can you see the little bats at the top there? That one is, there you go. Loads of fun. So all I did with those was set those on some modelling paste, and they were just flying over the top of Dracula. Now he is one of our cake painting classes, so if you're looking at him and thinking, wow, I'd love to have a go at doing that, then he is one of our cake painting classes as well. But the little bats are also great for cupcakes, things like that. So if you do want to have a go at putting bats on things, we do have a whole sheet of them this year, so if you want to do that, then yes, they are available. But it's a nice fun cake topper, just putting in, as I say, a little so you could use a lollipop stick, something that's edible, something along those lines. Then you could have those bats on sticks that are fun for tops of cakes and things. So there we go. So that's the bats they're in as well. See, that was quite a lot quite quickly, wasn't it? Before I move on to the cookie cutters, I am going to show you the prettier side of autumn, because I want to show you these before I get carried away with the cookies, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up in a right mess. So tonight was mainly about Halloween, but it is autumn as well. And I did think, it seems, a bit of a shame to kind of ignore some of the lovely sort of autumn colours and bits and pieces that we have out. So we have got 2 brand new cupcake sheets. Kelly hasn't even seen these, so these are completely new. I'm going to put them on here now. They are incredibly cute. I'm going to hold this one up here first. These are cake discs. So this first one here is going to be called, I think it's called Cute Fox or something. I think I called it something like that. Kelly will find out for me in a second. Now these are on sheets, 15 sheets, and you can just peel them back like so and pop them onto sugar paste. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. So that's the fox one. And then we've also got this lovely one here. So if you prefer a more subtle sort of Halloween look, then we've got a little rabbit sat on top of a pumpkin as well. And together, actually, they make a really lovely, sweet little box of cupcakes for somebody. So if you know someone who's going into autumn and you fancy making some autumn cupcake toppers, then these are available, these 2 now. They're very, very sweet. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you a very quick demo on how to put these onto cupcakes. Now you can put them straight onto cupcakes, but I tend to make discs which then set hard, and then you can leave them to dry and then pop them on top of your cupcake. So I'll give a little bit of sugar paste a knead. Don't need to roll out too much. It can just be a little thin disc. Now I did clean this tonight. When I say clean, I mean this shaker, so it's probably going to block. Right, let me sit down for a second. I'll grab the rolling pin and we'll just give that a little roll out like so. Okay. Don't need to be too thick. Also a little bit tacky in here this evening. It's quite warm all of a sudden. It's probably the lights, actually. Having said that, I have 2 great big lights facing me when I'm live, and sometimes they can be a little bit full on. So I'm just going to take this little round cutter, press down, give it a wiggle, make sure it's cut through, and we'll do the same. This is our 2-inch round disc cutter. Always wiggle it around to make sure you don't have the dreaded hairy edges. I should demonstrate what hairy edges looks like, shouldn't I? I probably won't be able to do it now though. That's hairy edges, where it's all like this around the outside edge. So in order to avoid that, if you take your cutter and do this on the surface, it gets rid of it. So 2 little discs like that, or however many you want them to be. Let's put them there like so. And then we will grab a paintbrush, which I have not prepared. So I will grab a paintbrush. Let me find one. Right, there we go. This is our large paintbrush that we've got on the website as well. I'm just going to take a tiny amount of water and we'll just put it onto here. You don't want to put on too much water, because if you do and then you touch the print will come off, because it's water based, so you don't want to be touching it. And then all you're going to do is just take hold of your, let's go that way, take hold of your rabbit. I just make sure that's being shown there. There we go. Take that and we're just going to pop that onto our little disc. Isn't he sweet? Oh my God, he's so lovely. And then the little fox as well. I'll put the little fox on there. Like so, he's so sweet. He's got such a sweet little face. And then you would just take these and leave them to dry. So we'll put them onto some cupcakes later on when we come to finish off with everything. So I'm going to move those out of the way in just a second. But that's how you prepare those sheets. You can do these in advance. When we come to Christmas, we always have some Christmas cupcake toppers. Again, this is the sort of thing you can do 4 to 6 weeks ahead of Christmas. You can get all your toppers ready so that all you've got to worry about is doing your baking, and then you can just swirl your buttercream and off you go. But they are very, very sweet. If I just hold them up a little bit closer again so you can see them. There they are. So these are our new cupcake toppers for autumn. Little tiny fox and a little rabbit sat on top of a pumpkin. So I thought, well, it's quite nice to do a mixture of things at autumn, not all Halloween. So you've got a mixture going on there. Okay, right, let's have a little move round. Let's move things out of the way. Ooh. My rolling pin is trying to come with me, so let's put that over there. So we're going to start going through, I want to put that there. I'm going to use those later on. So we're going to start going through some of the cookie cutters for Halloween. Some of them you will have seen before. We've put a little twist on them so that you can use them for Halloween. So you'll recognise a few, but the majority are new, which is very exciting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just set up a little paint palette because there are some details to be painted on some of these. So if you haven't done any cake painting before, I'm just going to run through this. So if you've seen the kit at the start of the live and you go, well, I don't really get it, I don't know what she's talking about, I'm going to just run through this now so you'll see it all set up, and then while it's all melting we can start bringing the cookie cutters in and you can see how to deal with those. Okay, so we have got here, let's come here. So in the kit we had a metal paint palette. So that's my metal paint palette. Now this isn't included in the kit, but what this is called a chrome food warmer. And if I just turn, there we go, like that, just like my tea light in the middle, and then I put this back on top of it, what starts to happen is the heat from the candle underneath will come up, and then it will start to melt the cocoa butter, which is what this is here, on into a liquid. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that to turn into a liquid so that we're able to paint with it. So that's exactly how all our cocoa butter painting classes work. So it's about keeping the heat on the cocoa butter so that you're able to paint with it. Now, chrome food warmers are on Amazon. You can go on there and search for them. Alternatively, if you've got something like a wax melter or you want to use a boiling water in a pan, you can do that as well. So anything like that is fine. And then what we use are things like this. So these are dusting colours, which again you saw a little bit earlier in the kit. If you were here before, they're in the new Christmas kit. So I'm just going to put these random colours I seem to have picked, which I'm sure will become apparent to me in a minute. Egg yellow, sunshine, and what was that? Sunset orange. I was setting up earlier, so I obviously must know what I'm doing, so I've chosen them for a reason. Bright gold. Why have I picked that? That's what's going through my mind. What was that for? These are the Wonder Dusts again. Wonder Dusts have just changed labels. We've still got some of the old labels at the moment. They're literally indestructible in terms of dates. The dates go on and on and on. So this is 2031. But there are some new Wonder Dusts out. Well, that one's still got its top on it. Let's have that off. So yeah, there's some new dusts with just slightly different labels. So if you get through a Wonder Dust and it's got a different label on it, you'll know why. But that's the current Wonder Dust Bright Gold, Wonder Dust Purple, Regal Purple, which we used massively when we were doing all our kind of royal things, which we enjoyed doing during Jubilee and stuff. So I'm leaving the camera on here at the moment. For those of you that are watching, you'll see that the cocoa butter there is starting to melt, which is exactly what we want. And then we're going to be doing some painting with some of the brushes again that are in the kit. So the brushes here, now, they are numbered 1, 2 and 0. This number 2 brush here does tend to get used quite a lot by me, so the numbers have worn out a little bit, but that just shows you how long you can keep these brushes for. I've said this before, I say it again, I tend to more likely lose my brushes than I do wear them out. I mean, I have hardly, I don't think I've even changed my brushes the whole time. These brushes are literally indestructible and they are brilliant. So you might need one set from your kit and maybe a second set to do other things. Sometimes when you're painting between black and white, it's nice to have a second set. But other than that, if you look after them, you're not going to be replacing these brushes very often. You're going to find that they're going to last you a long time. So they're well worth having. They're good if you're wanting, or you're having lessons with me, because I can keep track on which brush you're using, because like you'll hear me saying now, pick up brush number 1, pick up brush number 2, and it's much easier for you to know which ones you're using as well. So you can see the top left hand corner there, the cocoa butter has almost melted and turned to liquid form. So that's going to be what we're going to be using to do some painting on some of these new cookie cutters in just a second. But I wanted to set this up first to show those of you that are thinking about perhaps doing some cake painting, or thinking about maybe the beginner's Christmas cake painting course and would like a kit, but you're not too sure what it does. What does it all mean? It is all on the video anyway, but if you aren't going to get the course but you'd still like to have a go, then this is how it's all set up anyway. So you've got a lovely reference here as to how to get yourself started. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way, come back on screen for a second. It does get very, very hot. So when you touch that metal paint palette, it's really hot. So you don't want to be messing about with that too much. You want to be literally not touching it once it gets going. Right, okay, so we're going to start with a couple. Start with the easy ones to get me going. Give me a chance to remember what it's like to do it live. Yeah, so it's all coming flooding back to me. It is. I'm just moving a few bits and pieces out of the way. I've got my trial pieces next to me, so I know what I'm doing. Let's have a little look at the screen. There we go. Right, okay. I think I'm organised now. So we're going to start off with one that we ended with last year, or last time, not last year. So we have been doing a lot of work on cats and dogs. So we had a massive amount of cats and dogs cookie cutters just before we finished for the summer. Some of you love them. We did a cockapoo, we did a spaniel, we did a German shepherd, we did all sorts of different cookie cutters involved using that. If you want to see them being made really quickly, then go to my TikTok account, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes, and you'll see them being run off within literally a minute. It's quite a nice way to sort of work out how to do them, because sometimes people go, oh, which video is it on? Well, it's all in that place now, and I've tried to record minute-long videos for you. Now, these haven't been done yet, but they will get done at some point, so we will get there, but I'm a tiny bit behind at the moment because, again, I've got a lot going on at the moment and I'm running a race trying to keep up with everything. So actually I should blame Kelly because she came home, but as she's on my live helping me, I won't. Right, so cookie cutters, let's have a look at the first one. So we're all going to recognise this one. This was the cat. So if we have a cat cookie cutter, guess what we're going to do with it for Halloween? We're going to have a black cat, of course we are. So when I did it last time, I made a lovely ginger cat because I have a ginger cat. And I decided that this time we're going to use it again for a Halloween black cat. So if you've bought the cookie cutters already, you're already halfway there. If you've got the cat, if not, you're going to want the cat because you're going to turn it into a Halloween cat. So I've just got a little bit of water inside some royal icing here. This is going to help me stick it to the cookies. We're not looking for great big thick layers of this. We just want a little bit of light royal icing just to act as a glue. On here we do tend to decorate all the cakes with sugar paste for quick and speedy results. If you want to do royal icing, then that's a much longer process because obviously you're waiting for it to dry, and because we're only live for a very short period of time, we do them all in sugar paste. But if you want to do some in royal icing, again, we do have a course online that can show you how to do royal ice cookies, and there's certainly one or two students I can think of straight off the top of my head that have done it and loved it and been very, very good at it. So royal icing is a very nice medium to work with. However, if you want to do it in sugar paste, this is what we're going to be doing now. Now I've got to manage to get into this black sugar paste here, although having said that, there's a bit there, that might be enough actually. How much do I need? Oh, I do need a bit more. Right, the scissors are missing, of course they are. Right, let me locate my scissors while I find, there they are. See, I'm not as disorganised as I'm letting on, really. So this is the cat, and again, the same as quite a lot of our cookie cutters, we have a large and a mini. We don't have a large and a mini for quite a lot of the Halloween cutters this year because You'll see why later on, it will make a bit more sense, but we don't have lots of mini ones this year. Although actually, having said that, there is one I have completely forgotten. I'll have to go and have a rummage in a minute for one of them, because I meant to put it on the table before the live and I forgot. Right, let's start with this one. This is ever so easy and straightforward. It could not be any easier. So we're literally just going to take some royal icing on a brush. So this is our large paintbrush. We're just going to pop that on. Like so. You can see that the cookie cutter has marked the biscuit. So if you don't want to decorate them, you can just make cat biscuits. There you go, job done. That's the mini one as well. So I'll put that next to it so you can see how small it is. Okay, all the measurements are on the website, I hope. If not, I'll let you know. Pretty certain I updated it the other day. I've been all over the website today, so hopefully it should be all right. Okay, pick that up. So we take hold of this cookie cutter here. Now what I need, she says, I was just about to leap into action there. Let me grab a plastic scraper. Give that a quick wipe. Okay, so we need a plastic side scraper will help us with this, because it means we can then pick it up. That'll give us the detail then. Right. The other thing you'll need if you do cocoa butter painting is a little bit of kitchen towel or paper towel, whichever you want to call it. Kitchen roll or paper towel? Depends where you live. Put a little bit of icing sugar on there just to stop that sticking. I'll pop that on. And then we'll grab hold of, black is always quite a sticky sugar paste, it always has been. And then going to pop that on there like so. Move up a bit, sorry I'm off screen. There we go. Press down, give it a little wiggle so it cuts through nicely. Take the black out of the way. Now that will be loose inside of there, and that's why we've got this plastic scrape on this side, because we're then going to tip it over. Because this is a cookie cutter, what we want is we want to be able to pick up the detail. So it will pick up on the cookie, but it won't pick up on sugar paste because it's much thinner. So you'll need to just press down to get the detail. We'll drop it back again now. And then when I peel it away, there he is. It's got a little bit of white on him, but we can get that off. We're not worried about that at all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up and we're going to pop that on there like so. He's going to come together very quickly, which is very nice. We don't mind that. And let's bring our cocoa butter in. So bring that down a little bit. Bring that in there, hopefully, so we can get it all on screen. Let's see where we are. Perfect. There we go. Right, so we're going to grab, let's do paintbrush number 1. And then I'm going to turn this around. I think the reason I've got egg yellow and orange is I couldn't decide what colour eyes I'd done in the original one, but that's not a problem. We're going to grab the brush, dip it into the cocoa butter, pick up some of this egg yellow colour, and then we're just going to give it a little mix here. It's going to be quite strong. If we want to make it a bit paler, that's when we would add white. So that's when we would add some of our white dusting colour that contains the E171. Which is very important. So I'm just going to pop a little, oh, I forgot to put some out, so I'll just put a tiny bit there. I have the most enormous tub of it, of course. Okay, and then we're going to grab some white, just brighten it up a little bit. Okay, you see the change there, it's quite significant. And then all we're going to do is very simply just paint the eyes, paint straight over the top of them. It could not be any easier, to be honest. And there you go. And it's very quick. So if you wanted to do a lot of these, it's not going to take you very long. I know some people go into sort of mass production at Halloween. Yeah. So if you want to do anything like this, this is the quickest one of all of them. Most of them are fairly quick, but this one is definitely the quickest. So you can see very quickly. You've got your cat almost immediately. Look at that. Look at those piercing eyes. There we go. Just fill that in around there. Like so. So again, just literally painting by numbers, nothing too complicated. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix up a tiny little bit of grey. So grey, we will put I've just cleaned my brush up by dipping it in the cocoa butter and wiping it on my kitchen roll here. I'm going to grab some white, tiny bit of white, tiny bit of black, make up a light grey colour. There we go. maybe a little bit darker. Tiny bit darker still, changing my mind. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to give him we'll paint his nose grey. Like so, and then what we can do is take hold of the dotting tool, which I was obsessed with last year because I thought if I don't find it tonight I'll never find it. So these are dotting tools which we have on our website. They come in sets of 5. If you can see on the end there, they have, it's very difficult to see, but there's a tiny little ball on the end of that, and this makes really good little spots, so it's ideal for giving the impression of whiskers. So you can literally just take this like so and give the impression of little tiny whiskers in there, or the little holes where the whiskers go in, like so. There we go, like so. And then all I did was then take hold of my Dresden tool, which thank goodness is there, I can see it. And then I just marked in the inside edges of these cat's ears. So I then just literally followed around the outside edge there, like so. And it's done. And that's it. So that's the Halloween cat. He's very, very quick to make. The one I did at the end of last season is this one. So there's Norman. There's my cat. So if you want to do lots of different cats, then you will be able to do that. But for Halloween purposes, good old black cat, you can't go wrong with a black cat, can you? And you can see how really easy and straightforward it is. This chap here, again, was on the last video. So if you want to watch it back and see how I did that, then you just need to watch the last episode of Let's Shop and you'll find it all on there. So the cat has already been shown before. He was on the last episode of Let's Shop and we used him along with the dogs. So you've seen him before, but we've now put a little Halloween twist on him so that you've got an alternative and something else to use the cutter for, because we're very keen that you use the cutters many, many times. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the next one. So I said before that we had a new ghost. So we've got a new ghost cookie cutter to have a look at. So we're going to look at that now. I'm just going to move my cat out of the way. I'm just trying to work out what's the best way to do this. So I think I'm just going to literally lift them up and put them over there so that I don't end up getting in a muddle with them. There we go. And we have 2 new ghosts this year. We have a really super cute little tiny ghost. They're floating ghosts this year. So we've had the more rounded ghost before. This one is a little bit more floating. There is a reason why I've done this one, and I'll show you in a minute why I've done it. But it is, again, a slightly different one from what we've had in the past. I fancied a different one. So I've cut out my sugar paste again. So we've got some little sugar paste, not sugar paste, cookie dough. We have a cookie recipe which is on the there is a sheet for, which Kelly will put a link up for when she finds it, I'm sure. That one, that's our cookie dough recipe. We have it laminated so that you can use it, and we do charge for it because obviously it wasn't free for us to do, but it's a really nice recipe. It doesn't spread. It's very, very good. And if there's any tips you want on making cookies, Kelly's the expert on that. So if there's any questions about that, I normally get Kelly to answer those. So we just roll out a little bit of white sugar paste. Again, you could flood these. So when I say flood them, you could go round these with royal icing and just let them flood out. Because they're all white, they're fairly straightforward. But again, for purpose of doing a live, we'll do them with sugar paste so it doesn't take too long to do them. Okay, we're still on screen, just about. Let's move up a little bit. Same process as before. We take hold of our royal icing. We'll give that a little bit of a mix on there. And then we'll do our little one. Our little one is tiny. He's very sweet. He's very, very sweet. Trying to go for the R factor here. Right, oh, we need our plastic side scraper there. I nearly cut that. Let's put that there. It's got a bit of black on it now, so I need to get it on the right way round. Plastic. Oh no, we don't need it for this. There's no features. What am I doing? Ignore me. That'll teach me not to do lives for a while, won't it? Right, okay, so press down, give it a wiggle. Now, for those of you that are looking at this and thinking, right, it's going to be a ghost. I've got a little bit of hairy edges down the bottom there, but not too bad. There we go. Pop him on there. I also have plans for him in spring next year. And if some of you are quite clever, you've probably spotted already what you can do, because if you turn it round that way, is going to make a very nice tulip, I think, when I have a little play with it. But I think that's what's going to be happening with the ghost. So I think he's going to end up doing several things. So there are plans for him. And the little mini flowers as well. So very nice. Again, just give it a little wiggle. Press that out. Move that out of the way. And then we'll just pop that one on top of there. So this one is a little bit bigger, so you could use the 4mm sprinkles, which I have put safely out of the way, so I'll bring those over. So we talked about these being eyes before, didn't we? So we can use these. Let me just find a paintbrush so I can put a little bit of glue down, just so it holds it all in place. So where should we put his eyes? Let's put them in the middle there. So perhaps there and there, just a little bit of royal icing. Take hold of his eyes, pop them on, and then just press them down. So they'll embed into the sugar paste, so they're not really going anywhere. The royal icing is just stopping them moving, like so. This one is a bit smaller, so I think what we'll do, we'll use the dotting tool instead for that one, so we don't end up with absolutely enormous eyes on there. Let's put the lid back on this, because I don't ever feel safe when I've got sprinkles around. There we go. Okay. And then what we're going to do, let me grab hold of this tool here. So this is a large ball tool. Lots of you will have these when you're doing like sugar craft and bits and pieces like that. So that end there is quite good for doing the mouths on these ghosts. So again, I'm going to just turn this around. You could also, if you haven't got the idea of wanting to do painting, you can use an edible black pen. So if you want to do that instead, if that suits you, you'd rather have that, and then you could do like a little wiggly line or something, then the edible black pens are available as well. So if you're thinking that, oh, I don't really want to do this type of thing, then the pens are just as good. The only thing with the pens is obviously you don't press down too hard when the sugar paste is soft, because otherwise you'll end up kind of just dragging it through. So you almost need to let this set and then perhaps do your drawing over the top. Right, so I'm going to grab this paintbrush here. It's just paintbrush number 2. To be honest, it doesn't matter. I just need to mix up a little bit of black paint. So I'm just going to dip that in there, like so, just so I get something going on there. Okay, I'm just going to put that to one side. I'm trying not to get paint everywhere, which of course I'm failing at massively already. Grab hold of this larger end and pop it into the black paint, so you end up with it on there, and then you literally just take it and press down like that. It's really quick and easy to do. This one, what you can do here is turn it over the other way, so you've got the slightly smaller end on here, and you can do the eyes like so, a bit smaller or flatter if you prefer that, and then back to the other side, and again just don't press down quite so much. And then you've got a pair of matching ghosts there. They are so much fun. They are very, very quick to do, very quick and very easy. You can also do smiley ghosts if you prefer that sort of thing. But what you can do if you're not doing cookies, because I think we need to make it clear here, doesn't have to all be about doing cookies, is you could make a cake topper, and that's what I've done here with this one. So all I've done here is I've cut out the ghost cookie cutter with some modelling paste. You can see on the back the mechanics there. So I've taken a skewer and I've cut a strip of modelling paste down the back there, and I've just glued it on with a little bit of royal icing, and then I've left it to set. So that will then become a cupcake top, or not a cupcake, a cake topper for me. And then I didn't put the eyes on with the balls because I forgot basically, but I can then go ahead and decorate it with my tool. So I can take hold of this. I've got to hold it still because it's wobbly a little bit, and we can just finish it off. We can press down like that. And on this side, and again, if you wanted to paint it, perhaps you wanted to paint a smile or a slightly bigger mouth, then you can go ahead and do that. Let's paint one. Sometimes when the I was going to think of the word then, sugar paste has gone hard, it's more difficult to use the dotting tool than when it's soft. So sometimes when it's soft you can press it down, but when it's harder it's sometimes easier just to use a paintbrush and just go around like that. So it's entirely up to you. You don't want to make his mouth too big. There we go, something along those lines. So you can do a topper if you want to like that. So you don't have to do a cookie. If you think, well, I don't want to do all these cookies she keeps making, you can use these to do toppers as well. So that's how you would do that. So you would do that on a modelling paste, leave it to dry, and then come back and paint it. So that's the floating ghost cookie cutter. There's two of those together. There is a mini one and then there is a large one. I'm going to just give you the dimensions of these just because I'm here with my tape measure, so let's find my tape measure. So I'm trying not to flack black paint everywhere, which is kind of the key to this at the moment. So let me measure these rather than ruining what I've made. So in terms of size, I think they are, yeah, 7 centimetres that way, and they're 7 centimetres that way. So 7 by 7. This is a tiny little one, and this one is, where are we? 3.5 by 3.5. So yes, this is a little one that goes on top of the cupcake, and again I'll show you that towards the end. So I've got a few cupcakes to put together, so you'll be able to see what it looks like on a cupcake. But that's the little tiny ghost there, but they are in a set together. Okay, and again, some various links have gone up. If you're looking for any of this stuff tonight, just go straight to Let's Shop Kate Live, because everything is there all in one place. If you then want to go wandering around the rest of my site and have a look at other products and things, that's absolutely fine. But for the things for the live tonight, that's where you're going to find everything. She says near enough. There might be a couple of things that are not there, but Kelly will point you in the direction. And if you are looking for something specific and you can't find it, then let us know, and then Kelly will go and look for it for you. Right, so that's the cat, which we've seen before, and the ghost is new. So we're going to move on now to some of the other new ones. I notice I'm leaving all the hard stuff till the end, which I'm not sure is a good idea, but anyway, I have this wonderful idea. Right, okay, we'll move on to this one now. So we'll have a little look at these. I'm just checking I've got everything, because I've already spotted one cookie cutter that's missing. I shall have to do a launch onto the other side of the room in a minute to do. Right, so we are going to look at these two new cookie cutters. Let me just move everything out the way here, because I've got now a collection of ghosts, which will look very cool later on when I take a photo, but it's not helping me during the live. Okay, there we go. A picture of organisation. That's me. Right, so we're going to look at these two here. We'll look at this one first and then we'll come back to that one. Right, organising. Here we go. So we have got this one, which is loads of fun, and this one is called Boo. Okay, so we've come up with this cookie cutter here, Boo. So this is, again, cupcake size. It's quite big for a cupcake, but it fits. It is the right size. Let me get a cupcake and then you'll see. A bit of a cupcake baking session this week, so I've got cupcakes coming out my ears. There we go. You can see how it fits on there. So it does fit really nicely. And again, you can just have it as a cookie, so you don't have to do anything else. You might just want to cut those out and leave it at that. But what I'm going to do again, I'm going to show you one that I've decorated and show you what to do. So let's put my cupcake over there out of the way. So we're going to cut this out in white. So you can do these in any colour scheme that you like. It's entirely up to you. You can decide, you might decide you want to do like lime green or orange or anything really, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to get some white in this case, like that. Okay, and again we just pop that, oh that one's got black all over it now, pop that on there, pop this on here. So obviously the detail is further back on the cookie cutter, give it a little wiggle. Like so, pick that up and then we'll flip it over and then we'll press down so we get all the detail. Just keep an eye on making sure that your fingers aren't too sticky so that you end up with it all stuck. Hopefully that's it. Right, turn it back that way, there we go, magic. There we go, boom. Right, so again, we're going to pop this on here. So we have got our cookie cutters in stock because we've obviously had a bit of a break. We've been able to get ourselves really organised. We've got literally everything in stock. There are a couple of things we're waiting for, but the majority of it is all here. So we should be able to dispatch things pretty quickly. It shouldn't be too bad. There we go. All right. And then we can get painting with our lovely paintbrushes. So we're going to start with this one here, paintbrush number 1. And I'm just going to clean my brush because it's got grey on it at the moment. So we'll dip it in the cocoa butter and we'll just give it a little wipe there. Okay, and then we're going to dip it grab some, we'll go sunset orange this time with a little bit of white maybe, so it's not too dark. There we go. I think I must have done the last one in tangerine, but we'll do this one in this colour. So go round, and then we're literally just going to paint by numbers again. There's nothing to worry about with any of this because the stuff's already there, so you don't have to sort of think, you know, where do I put the bee and all that. It's all done for you, so you just are literally painting. I think this is a really sweet one actually, and again, it doesn't take that long to put together. It's very quick, and if you were doing these en masse, remember, you would just sort of line them all up. You'd paint all the one letters first and then the next letter, so it would go very, very quickly. We'll go down here, I'll put some stripes down this bit here, maybe make it a bit thicker, turn around that way. You get this wonderful view, and I get, she says, having checking her camera, let's go that way, there we go, that's better. I have the light shining on what I do when I'm live, which is quite tricky for me to do, but we'll get there. There we go. We'll just say as well, these cutters, they are ours. They're exclusive to us. You will not be able to find them anywhere else. I have invented them, basically, and keeping them on here. They are our cookie cutters. So we really worked very hard on getting these out to you. So I hope that you'll want to have a go with them anyway. So you won't find them anywhere else. You can't get them on Amazon, that's what I'm saying. Right, let's go across there. I think I've left this paintbrush to dry in a pot or something because it's got a slight curve on it, just to keep me under control. Right, round we go. Okay, a little bit more cocoa butter. There we go, like so. It doesn't take too long. And obviously we have to go slightly more Halloween, so we're going to sort of finish off with a bit of slightly spooky decoration. So we'll do a little spider's web. I might go down to 0 nozzle for this one. Or 0 nozzle, 0 paintbrush. There we go. So we'll have let's do a spider's web, shall we? So we'll just put some lines straight out. Maybe another one. So I'm struggling to see with the light. I need to bring it towards me a little bit. That's a little bit better. And then we'll just come across there. So we'll just do some little loops. Join them up a bit, like that. And we'll go back to paintbrush 1. And then we'll just go round the outside edge of this again. It's all lined up for you, so just run the paintbrush around the lines. Around we go. Breathing occasionally, of course, but not too often. And around here. And again. No pressure doing this live. There we go. Down to the middle there. And then that way. So you can see the words sort of starting to stand out a bit now, but you could paint these any colours, like, you know, lime green or whatever you like, it doesn't matter. You could start with a different colour sugar paste at the back. So if you wanted to start with black, you could always start with a different colour. Let's turn that around, do the exclamation mark on the end. I think a lime green one would be quite nice, actually, to be honest. That might be worth having a go. we go. Boo. We'll do a little spider down the bottom here, shall we? We'll just do a tiny little spider here. Just do a little blob. And then we'll give him just a, we can't see all his legs, so we'll just do 2 on each side maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter, does it? Give the impression of. Okay, there it is. Very nice and straightforward to do. So that's the little cookie cutter for that. So we've only got this in one size. We're not doing this in lots of different sizes. It's just one size only, and that size does fit a cupcake. So I'm going to put the cupcake there to remind you what size it fits. Again, it's one of these things that you can put in a treat box. You can move it around. So, you know, I've always said about treat boxes, don't make everything big, because if you make everything big, then you've got and you end up with gaps. It's easier to infill with smaller items. So like little mini ghosts and things like that, much easier than it is to just make everything absolutely huge. So there we go. All right, so that's the Boo one. And then we're going to have a look at the next one. We're going to move on again, because we've got so much to show you tonight. So I'm going to put the Boo one over there, out of the way. That's my cupcake for reference. And we're going to have a look at witch's hat, of course. Now, with the witch's hat, I did think about this the other day and thought, well, actually, do you know what? This could also be a sorting hat for Harry Potter. So if any of you are doing any like Harry Potter type cakes, it would make a great sorting hat. You'd be able to have a lot of fun with this. So if you were doing a party and perhaps you fancy doing some cookies for Harry Potter, then you could do the sorting hat on here. That would be great for a party like that. So this is lime green. I'm going to do lime green this time. Pro Gel, which again is on the site. There we go. That's what it looks like. Rainbow Dust Pro Gel lime green. So I thought a lime green hat, of course. So again, if you were doing a sorting hat, you could just sort of mix it into in with some just brown sugar paste, and then you would have it done like that. I'm going to just do the big one. I've made a small one already, but I thought I'd just try and do a big one so you can see it a bit more clearly online. Sometimes it's easier to see it larger. I haven't quite rolled out enough yet. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Turn around. So again, we've got the same principle as the before. We've got large and mini, which means the mini fits on top of the cupcake, and the large one is usually about 7 centimetres, but I will check. I normally try and design them the same size, but sometimes they don't. No, this is a bigger one. This is a 9 centimetre one, so it's a bigger hat. Can we get it on in one go? Yes, I can. There we go. Right, let's give that a bit of a wiggle. Like so. There we go. Make sure we cut through. Take that away. And then again, we'll just pop some royal icing on. Okay. Very nice and bright, isn't it? We'll pop that on there like so. Now, what I might do, which is different to what I did on the original one, because I've just looked at the original one, I'm going to change it slightly. You can cut the brim out, which I think I will do, because it's quite big on here. So I'm going to just take that and go across there and remove that part. I need that green for later, so I'll put that to one side. And then I'm going to take hold of a piece of black sugar paste. I did this, I'm doing this on the larger one. I didn't do it on the smaller one. You'll see why in a minute, because it's a bit more fiddly, whereas this is quite big, so it kind of makes a bit more sense, I guess, to do this one a bit like so. So we'll pop that piece on the end, press down, give it a wiggle, which we've got like that, and then we're just going to cut it across like that, and we'll lift that up and pop that on there like so. There we go. Join it up. I like this hat because it's not, you know, straight up, it's more, I like all this kind of movement in the hat. And again, we can always highlight that as well by just marking in lines. But before we do that, we're going to just paint the rest of the hat. Again, you might prefer to cut them out, which is absolutely fine. If you prefer to do that, that's all right. But we're going to use paintbrush 2 again because it's a wider brush, which means it's easier for us to make larger stripes, which is what we're going to do with this. So I'm just mixing up some black. And then all I'm going to do is we'll just take our brush and we will just press down and we will just go across. We need to go up because the hat is going up like so. Again, the same, we'll start there and we'll go up. I'm just pressing down the whole width of the brush, so I don't need to sort of do too much of this. So you take your brush, there's a bit more cocoa butter I'm running out there. There we go. So take the brush, I'm going to put it down, press down, and then move it round. That way you can see the stripes are kind of going up and going around the corner. Press down. So make sure you've got the full width of the brush. If you haven't, go back and just do it again. Then get to the top bit here and press down like that. And then press down like that. Very easy, very, very straightforward to do. I've left a bit of a gap there because I was going to put a buckle in there. So we will have a go at doing that, and we'll use our bright gold for that. And that's why I had it. When I put these colours out earlier, I could not remember why. Now I know. So we'll just do a little gold buckle there. So I'm just cleaning up my paintbrush number 1 here, and we'll go back down to, because it's got black in it, I want to get rid of all of that. And then we'll use the bright gold. So we'll turn that round a little bit. I'm going to grab some of this. There we go. Like so. So when you paint with luster dusts, you tend to find they will use a lot more of the powder than you would do with a matte dust. They tend to use a little bit less. This is still a bit wet, so I'm going to try and work my way around it if I can, where takes usually a little bit of time for the cocoa butter to dry. Normally it's quite quick, but it's quite warm this evening, so I think that's probably why. So we'll bring that down here. Along there, like so. That looks okay, doesn't it? I'm just taking it right up to the top of that line there, and then that means then I don't have to outline it. There is a method to this. I'm going to get my zero brush and a little bit of black. So the witch's hat stuck to my top now, and then we'll just bring that down there like so. And a little bit down there. So notice I keep changing my brushes. So having the right size brush is going to help you massively. If you're trying to paint everything with the same size brush, it's going to be so much harder for you. So having a set of paint brushes is crucial. But again, you could do this with a pen if you particularly prefer that option rather than doing painting. So if you think, nah, I'm not doing that, then a pen will suffice with some of this anyway. And then we will just put a little buckle on there like that. So there we go, that's not too bad, is it? So I did make up a little mini version. There we go. Earlier, the green's not quite as bright as the green I had earlier because I got a bit carried away with the lime green because I wanted it to be super bright. But you can again see that this one will fit on top of a cupcake. It's cupcake size. So one is larger than the other, clearly. The little witch's hat, the smaller version, hold on, I will check for you. Let's turn that over. Is 5 centimetres, whereas that one is 9. So you've got 2 different sizes. Then again, you've got large and small. So think again about the Harry Potter side of things, but also with the witches' hats, you could do them lots of different colours. If you go online and have a look, do a bit of research on there, you'll see lots and lots of different colours and things that you can do on these. I've gone kind of very, I was going to say wicked, like the theatre production, very green, but I think her hat is actually brown. But there's lots of things you can do in terms of different colours to do different designs on the witch's hat. So the witch's hat comes in 2 different sizes in a set, which is large and small, which are those 2 on there. Okay. So again, all of these are on the website. So if you do want to order any of them, please go to Let's Shop Kate Live and you will find them on there. Right, ready for some more? I said it was going to be a long edition tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just going to move everything out of the way. In fact, what I could do is I might even actually leave everything on this particular sheet and we'll swap it over, because there's stuff everywhere now, so I want to make sure I don't knock anything. Right, so we've got everything here. All right, so there's our witches' hats up close, so you can have a little look at them. Let me come down there a bit so you can see them. All right, so again, you can use sugar paste strips or you can paint them. It's entirely up to you. They are your Halloween decorations, so you can do whatever you like. You can hear things moving about over here. Right, so let's have a look at this little one. This is the poison bottle. Oh yes, this is my new this is my new cookie cutter. So last year we had potion bottles. Well, this one is the poison one. So you can see what we've done here. If I hold it up there, you'll see there's a skull and crossbones in the middle of it, onto the cookie there. So we've already made one there and you can see how it works. Now let me show you, there is a trick to this. I cannot take the credit for this. I can only say that Kelly is the one who pointed out how to get this right. So there is a very important painting bit to do on this, and it's very important that you do it the right way, otherwise you're going to have some difficulties with this. So let me show you exactly what it is that you need to do, and then fingers crossed you won't have the struggle that I had when I started using this one. So we have got I've got some purple here. I've used Colour Splash Violet as my base, so that's my base colour. We're going to dust Regal purple over the top, but we won't do that until we've finished. So we're going to just roll this out. This will be the one I will do a TikTok on, and I will do it not next week, the following week. So you will see this one appear in my TikTok, because I think it needs to be done as a reminder as to how to paint it, because it is quite important, otherwise you're going to be cursing me. Pop that onto there, grab this, place that down. So I'm just trying to avoid, PME decided to print their names on these last year. It's very irritating. So I'm trying to make sure I avoid that. Okay, I'll give that a wiggle, like so. So again, all of these are our exclusive cutters. They are on Let's Shop. They are not anywhere else, okay? So if you are liking what you see, then you are going to need to go over there to get them. Let's press that down. Right, so you need to press down that skull quite a lot. Actually, no, you don't, because it's the next bit you need to do that on. We just need the markings. We know everything is at this stage. Right, there it is. So far, so good. Okay, and then we're going to take our royal icing. So again, same as before, you can see if you want to just make it as a plain cookie, you can just leave it like so, because it's going to mark. But if you want to decorate it, then you need to press that down. And I'm going to pop that on there like so. There we go. So far so good. Right, we're going back to white, not black. And this is where I came unstuck and Kelly rescued me. So we're going to do this in white, because I went the wrong way with this and then I realised why. And it does make it so much easier to do it this way than the other way. So we've got white, or grey I guess, but white's probably where you need to be. I definitely need this now. Pop that on there. So we're after that centre bit now. We're after the label part of this. So we're going to pop that onto there like that and press down. Give it a wiggle and take the edges off like so. And then we're going to take it and tip it upside down, and then we're going to press down. Now we really need to see that skull on this bit, so it's important you press it down, the skull and crossbones. You need the line we're going to cut it, but make sure you can see it. Okay, press back. There we go. So it should indent quite a way, and that's the key to this, is making sure that it's indented. And then I'm going to just take my cutting wheel, I'm going to remove that section there, and then I'm going to take that one and remove that there. So we've now got our label. Okay, you could cut that piece out if you want to, but I didn't. I left it on in the end, but yeah, you can if you want to. So I'm going to use a bit of water to stick this down rather than royal icing, so it's flat. Grab some of that, just a little bit of water. that down. Okay, and then we're going to take that and put that over the top, like so. And you can leave that if you want to. Kelly and I did a couple of things with this. We had a go at sort of making this look quite sort of like parchment, so we went round with sort of brown and stuff, which was okay, but I really wanted that skull to kind of stand out. So the next bit's quite important if you want that to happen. So this is paintbrush number 2. No, paintbrush 2 or 3 for this one. We're just going to go around and get our black paint. Before I get too carried away though, I'm going to just paint this bit here, just straight across, like so. That's my stopper. Okay, like that. And then what we did was we literally took hold of that cocoa butter and we painted across the label. And as we did that, the skull then stood out because you're going straight over the top of it and it's pressed in. So obviously you're not going to like stab your paintbrush in there. You need to leave a gap. So don't make your paint too runny. So as you come down here and across there, and then we did catch the tops of his eyes and his nose. I do not have a good track record with eyes and noses and faces on live, so I'm not going to make that fiddle with that any more than I need to, as I've had more than enough incidents. So there we go. So as you just go round it, you'll start seeing the face then comes forward. So it's a little bit of a trick. And if you're careful, you then won't have to paint anything to do with that skull because it will already be there for you. Now I did it in reverse to start with. I did a black label and then tried to paint the white skull, and it's the wrong way round. It doesn't work. You need to do it this way round. So this is quite an important bit. When you come towards these skulls, you can literally just run the paintbrush up to the edge. Because it's so deep into the label, unless you actually sort of push your brush down there, the chances of you catching it's not very high. There we go. Taking that up, but you can see then what's happened. It's really quite clever how this works. So, and then you can just paint round the side of the label just to turn it all around so there's no white showing anywhere. So how easy is that? It's cool, isn't it? It's really cool. I was really pleased with this once we got this going. Once I'd got over the initial panic of it not working. It did actually work really well. And while I'm doing this, I want to just point out something else as well. Going back to the dogs that we have been doing over the last few sessions. So we did lots of dog cookie cutters. If you remember, there was some bone cookie cutters. Again, bones for Halloween. So if you've already bought the bone cookie cutters, they make great fillers in retreat boxes or to go on a Halloween cake. I mean, it's, you know, it's another winner. So then you've got that like that. And then what we'll do is we'll give it a stopper. But before we do that, I'm going to get hold of some of the Regal Purple. Now, I'm not going to put any cocoa butter in it, I don't think. I'm going to use it dry. And we'll use this brush here, which is called a Flat 2, which again is one of our paint brushes. I'm going to put down a bit of kitchen roll because then the likelihood is I'm going to get it everywhere. So I'll pop it onto there. In an ideal world, you would wait for this to dry, but obviously we don't want to be sat here waiting for that for too long, so I'm going to kind of paint around it. So I've just got a dry brush and I'm just going to take that across my sugar paste, and you'll see it will create this really lovely sheen because this is one of the nicest colours ever, and you'll see it coming up there. And again, we did use this on the potion bottles last year, so this is the poison bottle, remember, not the potion bottles. So we've got potions and poisons. Okay, I'll put that up there. Like that. You can see the sheen on it is amazing. If you look at the bottom, which I haven't done, versus the top, you'll see a massive difference. You see? Much nicer. Bit of extra effect there, you see? So we'll give that a big across the bottom there. There we go. And that is our poison bottle. Now again, bit like the some of the other things that we've used in the past. Now this one I put a stopper in. If you see this one coming onto screen now, this is one I put a stopper in before, but I'm not doing that now because I've put the Regal Dust on. But you could put a stopper in that bottle as well, or you could use your sprinkle mixes and you could put the sprinkles coming down the poison bottle. So you could, for example, just have some sort of bubbling out of the top of there, and you would just stick those on with royal icing, something along those lines. So if I just grab the cauldron mix that we had from last year, and again I'm being very careful because I've obviously got very wet cocoa butter on here at the moment, so I'm just looking for another brush that I can use. Let's try that one, that looks good to me. And then if we just take a tiny amount of royal icing, again I'm trying to avoid that bit. It will dry, it's just it's taking a bit of time tonight. In the cauldron mix you've got some purple and black sprinkles. So again, you could put these on here to kind of match. You could put some green ones on as well if you particularly want to, but I quite like just keeping it on colour. I'm going to press that down into the sugar paste. Hopefully it will just stick. Most of the time they just stick. So the sugar paste is quite soft. When you do this when it's soft, it will just kind of embed in the sugar paste. So 9 times out of 10, you don't need huge amounts of it anyway. But I loved making these last year. I got quite obsessed with them. Kelly and I had a field day with them. There we go. Ooh. But because the sugar paste is set on that one, I would actually have to glue them on. They won't sort of embed in very well, whereas when they are soft, they do fit in really nicely. So if I lift that up there, you'll be able to see, whoops, come down a bit, what I've done exactly. So I've got a little bit of overspill of poison coming out of this bottle here, and that's been made with the cauldron mix. So the cauldron mix has got greens and orange sprinkles in there as well, but I've just gone through and picked out those ones for this particular cookie cutter. So that's what I've done to achieve that. So you could add some, for those of you that have got white Perels, or the tiny 2mm black Perels would look nice as well. We've got little tiny black ones that would also work quite well. So if you fancied having a go at that, you could do that. All right, so that one is the poison bottle. Now we've only got it in one size. We are not going to be doing a small one of this. It is one size only, and it measures, let's see what it is. It's a 10 centimetre size. So it's quite a big bottle, but it does sit very nicely with the other potion bottles from last year. So if you're planning on making some of the potion bottles from last year, I've got the Witch's Brew one here somewhere, haven't I? Let me find that one. Then you can put them sort of side by side if you were doing sort of a bit of a shelf of potions or something. Let me put this next to this one. And actually it's quite nice to have some slightly different sized ones anyway, because it's nice to have a mix rather than have them all the same. But you can see that it does fit in with that particular range. So remember I showed you at the start, those were the potion cookie cutters from last year. So if you see there's a set of 2 there, this is the poison one and this is the one that's on its own. So that's the poison cookie cutter with the cauldron mix in there. Okay, right, I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to show you one more that I've done, but the one I'm going to show you at the end is actually part of a set. Well, no, it's not part of a set. We're going to do it separately. No, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Let's see how we go, shall we? Right, okay, let's not make promises we can't keep. Let's see what we do. Okay, so we're going to take the potion bottle away. There we go. And the Witch's Brew. And I'm going to show you another new cookie cutter for this year. And again, this is very similar and kind of based along the lines of the potion bottle. And I decided that what you would have in all experimental circumstances is a test tube. Of course you're going to have a test tube, of which we're going to fill it up with even more sort of bits and pieces and things from our potion section of our of our lab. Right, so let's do, I've done a slightly different one to what I've done before. So I'm going to do black. So I'm going to roll that out. So this is the test tube. Again, you could use this for any wizards or that kind of party, Harry Potter, that kind of thing. Potions class, isn't it? It's a big thing in Harry Potter. So anything along that line. Right, let's put that on there. I'm going to pop that on. Give it a wiggle. Take that away. Tip that over. And then just press down, get your markings in there. This is where you can have fun with your sprinkles and you can come up with some sort of different kind of mixes, I guess, to do with your potions, can't you? There we go. Take that out. And then we're going to pop our cookie mix, or cookies rather, on here. Paint over the top. Down like so. There we go. That on like that, and then I'm going to take some, what colours we got? Let's do green. We'll go back to our lime green and we'll put our lime green potion in the middle. I've got an obsession with this colour. It's so nice. Such a nice colour. It's so bright. So Halloween to me is always orange, lime green and purple. You can't go wrong with that, and in so many different combinations as well. You can't go wrong. You've got those core colours, you've got Halloween covered, I think. Right, so again, we just need that centre part there, so we'll put that on and give it a wiggle, just so that cuts away. There we go, and then we're going to tip that over. We're just interested in that bit in the middle, so we might have to support it a little bit just to get that bit cut out, and it's sticking to me a little bit. Turn that back. There we go. We can just about see it. That's all we need. We don't need anything too complicated. Let's move that out of the way. Pop that there. And then we'll take hold of the cutting wheel and we'll just cut. Is that what I did? Yes, that's what I did. Round like so. Make sure I use the smaller end to get round the corners. There we go. Take that up. And then we'll take hold of some water. I'll just go over that. I wouldn't put down too much because black has a bit of a habit of sort of water and black lifting the colour. Navy blue is another one that does that. So we should be careful here. We lay that down like so. Okay, we've got a stopper in there, which is a bit more tricky to see. So what we'll do is we'll take, not that brush, we will get one of our other paint brushes, and perhaps we'll use a bit of grey or something. Make it like a dark grey. And then we can do across there. We'll have the stopper on this one. We'll show it all bubbling away underneath. So again, this is only in one size. There's only one size of this particular cookie cutter. Right, and then I've got I'm going to use my potion mix on this one. I'm going to just dab a little bit at the bottom there. So I've got a colour on there. Put some at the bottom there. We just have it like it's sort of bubbling up, shall we? So this one is predominantly sort of 2 shades of green. And then it's got some white Perels in here, my famous white Perels that I use on absolutely everything. All started out because I wanted to use them on a on a snow globe, and then I suddenly found I was using them on absolutely everything. So they have been with me now for quite a period of time. They've turned into my new silver stars. I used to use silver stars and everything. Now it's morphed into these little things instead. Although we do, silver balls rather than silver stars, I would say. I was thinking of the magic spell mix then. So if you want to put on, you know, if you wanted to make a different potion, let's say, then perhaps if you wanted to do more of an orange based one, then you would use the cauldron mix. Or if you wanted to do one that was more sort of, I don't know, blue, then you would do perhaps the magic spell mix. So you could use some of the different sprinkles, and then you could put the sprinkles in the cauldrons as well, so that you have kind of, looks like you've got it in a test tube, and you've also got them in the cauldrons as well. So you've got lots of kind of different ways of presenting this, so they all kind of tie together. And again, my sugar paste is very soft, so I'm just pushing things in really, but you can see, I think we need a few more white Perels in there. Let's get to they've gone to the bottom of this pot, which isn't very helpful for me, but they are at the bottom. So I have to dig around to get them out. There they are. Put a few more of those. They're just quite, well, they run everywhere, which is always really annoying, but they are they are really nice to put on display. So there we go. Put a few more in there. If I can catch them, they're all falling off now, aren't they? Of course they are. Let's put a bit more royal icing on there, trying to catch them. There we go, there's one, there's another one. There we go, that's better. Get there in the end. Right, so there we go. So that's the test tube. I did actually do a grey version of it, so grey or black, it doesn't really matter. There's another version of it there, depending what you like, because test tubes are clear normally, aren't they? But, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just quite nice to see it done in a different colour so you can see the way it stands out. So, yeah, normally a test tube is clear, but again, I've done it black just so you've got a bit of option, really, as to how you like it. So it'll be more of a preference thing, won't it? So that's the test tube. Okay, so again, it's similar size to the potion bottle, so it stands alongside the other. Oh, let's get the other one. Here it is. So you can see if I put those two together, they are very similar in size, so they kind of all fit that kind of same thing for that. Now there is one more cookie cutter, but I'm going to demonstrate it on another live, but I'm going to just show you it quickly anyway, just so you know that it's also available. Let me move this out of here. And this is, we've got a mini haunted house. Now I'm going to do a little TikTok on this one so you can see how to put it together. So there will be a little video coming out shortly on how to do it. But again, it's very small and it fits on top of a cupcake. I always put a cupcake in position when I do lives because it makes it so much easier for you to see how to do it. So I'm very briefly going to explain how I've done this, but I'm actually going to do a video on it, so there will be a video instruction coming out. So all I've done is cut out lime green sugar paste and put that down. If I turn that sideways, you'll see a bit more what I've done. Put the lime green down, then I've cut out some sugar paste over the top, and I've used some PME square plunger cutters, which are these little things here, to cut out my windows and my door. Then what I've done is I have taken my regal purple dust, gone over the top, painted the turrets and painted the windows inside and created this little haunted house here. So you could do the background in, say, something like orange if you fancied a different colour, or if you wanted to do the house something else, you could even change it towards Christmas and have like a little mini gingerbread house. There is plenty of room for this particular one to do, but there will be a video on this one coming out. But the little cookie cutter is available online as well, and it's listed as a mini haunted house, but you might see it change over the next season into mini Christmas house, mini gingerbread house, so you might see the description changing as we go along there, but you can see then that fits sort of quite nicely on top of there. Right, I'm going to leave that on screen just for a second. I'm just going to grab another cupcake so I can show you how I finished off some of those ones that we made earlier a long time ago. Well, it seems like a long time ago, a couple of hours ago, and we did the little fox and the rabbit. I want to show you now how we're going to put those onto the cupcake. I've actually got quite a small nozzle tonight. I didn't have my large 1M. I need to investigate where that's gone. So if you take a hold of a cupcake, I'm just going to do some little swirls. Don't want to overcomplicate it. Just round, yeah, we'll go around the whole thing, but we'll just start like that. It doesn't really matter what it looks like in the middle, to be honest, because no one's going to see it. There we go, like so. Right, what do I do with them? That's the question. And then we can just literally pop that on top. I'll pop that there. And then we'll do the same for this one. So we'll do a big little swirl. So this is just buttercream. Nothing particularly fancy, but they're just so sweet. And I thought, do you know what? We need to cover autumn as well as Halloween. So that's why we've got a little cookie cutter or little toppers as well. I thought it'd be nice to have something else. There we go. And we'll pop that on top and just press down. Just be careful when you press it down. If you press down like that, then the whole thing will go like that. So if you press down in the middle and then go to the outside edge, it will come out flatter. So in the middle and then out to the side like that. And then you've got these two very cute little images on top of these cupcakes. So these are available on the sheets as well. Kelly's already put the link up earlier, but again, if you go to Let's Shop Cake Live, you will find them all on there. So it should be fairly straightforward for you to do. So if you want to have a go at doing the fox and the rabbit, you will find those on there. They come in sheets of 15. And they last ages, so if you want to do a few now and then leave it for a bit and then do a few more later on, then you can easily do something like that. There'll be some Christmas cake toppers coming out nearer the time and you will be able to see those then. Okay, I am here. It's very hot in here. Right, let's have a little summary of what we've just done this evening, just so that we know, because we're coming up to nearly 2 hours of live and I'm running out of voice. So the first thing I did was talk about the cake school. So we have our all-out cake party. We're not talking about cake party at the moment. We're talking about the cake school. Let's get onto the right button here. So we talked about the cake school at the start. We have got our new beginners cake painting course, which is now available. Remembering, of course, you can buy the course outright if you want to at £30, or you can join as a monthly member. It's available to gold, silver and bronze members. So if you want to join the course, then you can do it that way. The longer you pay your membership, you have access. If you don't pay your membership, then you don't have access. If you purchase the class for £30, then you get to keep the class. So it's entirely up to you. You can decide however it is that you want to do it. Remembering, of course, as well, that we have got a certificate with this class. So if you complete all 4 images, then we will give you a certificate that you can show for having completed your class. We've also got the beginners cake painting, Christmas cake painting kit that is available from Let's Shop Cake Live as well. Let's go back to that. That contains everything you need in order to be able to do that live, that class. So if you want to do the Christmas course, I shouldn't have seen the word live. Stop saying live, Tracy. Right, let's start again. If you want to do the Christmas cake painting course, not the live, the painting course, we have a kit to go with it. And the kit matches the course. There you go. You see, I didn't manage to say the wrong words there. So that's available as well. And again, it contains 4 paintbrushes, metal paint palette, all the dusts, and 2 wonder dusts. That's the word I was looking for. Wonder dusts that are in the box as well. Then we moved on to so we did the kits, then we moved on to the chocolate moulds, and I ran through the chocolate moulds and showed you some of the things that I made last year and the year before using the chocolate moulds. So again, they are all available. They're all on a countdown now because there's some quite low stock on some things. So if you particularly want the 3D witch or the large pumpkin mould or any of those, then you'll need to get those as soon as possible because they will be selling out, because we won't be restocking those again this year because there's not enough time to turn them around now. Then we went on to the new molds. So obviously we've shown you the ghost mold, and we've got a witch's hat and the little boo one that sits on top of the cupcakes, and the test tube and the poison bottle. On top as well, the cauldron and the original potion bottles, which are really, I love these potion bottles. They're the original ones. They're still there as well. And then we have, of course, our new autumn cupcake toppers, little fox and the little rabbit sat on top of the pumpkin. So there is a lot of option for you to have a go at a lot of different things for autumn and going into Halloween. So I hope that this evening I've shown you plenty of ideas to think about for Halloween. So the Let Shop is open now, so all the products are on there, and we will start dispatching tomorrow. So if you are thinking you'd like to have a go at doing something Halloween wise, certainly we'll be dispatching between now and Tuesday. Then we'll be stopping between Wednesday and Sunday. We won't be sending anything out later the week because I'm not going to be here. And then this weekend, as I said before, I will be at the British Sugarcraft Guild Gala Day, which is at Cranmore Park in Solihull. So if you want to join me there with Karen Davis and all these other people, that would be really nice. So if you do want to come over and see us, we will be very happy to see you. I think the tickets are available on the British Sugarcraft Guild website. So if you do want to join them, go and have a look on there, and we'd really like to see you. What else was I going to say? Then I'm at a wedding fair, and then I'm here, and then I'm there. I'm all over the place. So I won't be here next Saturday, or this Saturday, because I will be at the British Sugarcraft Guild. And the following Saturday, I will be flying back into the country, having visited Stockholm. I'm going to the ABBA Museum. I know, it's very sad. So I'm going over to the ABBA Museum next Saturday, so I will be back. As soon as we're back for another live, potentially it might be in the evenings, but we will be starting to rank up now towards Christmas and bringing out some of the Christmas ideas that we've got. So we do appreciate you tuning in, even if it's not perhaps a Saturday morning that I'm normally on. But do please keep coming back to us, keep shopping with us. Everything that I keep producing is hopefully to enhance your cake decorating and have lots of fun. And also just, you know, now it's dark now, so dark evenings, so nice opportunity to be able to sit and just kind of make some really nice stuff and be really pleased with what you've made. And we're very keen as well to also be able to show you different things that you can do with our cookie cutters. So not just going, that is a witch's hat, it is also you know, for let's say Harry Potter sorting hats, those kind of things. There's different ideas that you can do in there that you can make for yourself at home, just something nice to do. So lots of different things that you can do. So I hope that, you know, it's maybe inspired you to perhaps have a go at painting. I noticed somebody said earlier they're nervous about painting. I've had a lot of nervous painters and they've loved it once they've actually started. And the beginners courses, be it Christmas or the other one, it's a really, really good place to start. Failing that, come and see me on Saturday at Solihull, or failing that, come and see me at Cake International. I'll put a paintbrush in your hand and you watch out, you'll become very addicted very, very quickly. It's a very slippery slope, as my students will tell you. Once you're in, you're in. It's such a nice hobby to paint, and I've had people that told me at the start that all they could do was do a matchstick, and I said, no, I'm going to be able to teach you more than that. And they didn't believe me. And now some of them are absolutely amazing painters and they love it. And it would be so nice for you to have a go at perhaps something like painting, or maybe cupcake bouquets is the kind of thing you see them online and think, well, I'd really like to do that. Well, we've got that for you. It's all on the Cake School. So if you do want to join the Cake School, then do please go over and have a look, because I have patience of a saint and I like to bring you all these ideas, and I'd really love you to get on board with me and follow the journey that we have going on with the school, and obviously with Let's Shop as well. So if you do want to buy any products there, that would be great. You will have seen, for anyone who's local to me, so I'm based in Buckinghamshire and on the borders of Oxfordshire, actually between the two. I am running live cake decorating classes now under the brand of Cake Party with my friend Debbie. So if you want to join us in person, then you can sign up for there. For those of you that know Wadston Manor, which is a beautiful National Trust property very close to us, we even have a cake party in one of their buildings, their coach house. So we've got some really nice projects coming up. So if you fancy coming to see me in person, you'll find me there as well. So I'm in lots of different places at the moment. So Saturday, Cranmore Park, Sunday, Missenden Abbey, And then we're going to see the ABBA Museum and we've put that bit in, and then all these other things going on as well. So lots and lots of things going on. So I'm hoping you'll jump on board and have a go at making some of these lovely things we've come up for you. As soon as the little video is available for the haunted house, you'll see it appear because we will post it on here. Or you're welcome to join me on TikTok at Tracey Mann Cakes. And again, you will see loads of short videos on there of some of the things that I've covered on Let's Shop. Somebody this week asked me, how did I do this? And I said, right, go and look at TikTok, and there you'll find it. You don't have to get involved in anything else on TikTok. You can literally just look at mine if that's how you want to play it, and you can just see some very short 1-minute tutorials, and you will enjoy them, I'm sure. Any questions about anything I've gone through this evening, then do please get in touch. If you want to place an order, to say we will begin dispatching tomorrow morning. So normally we say you've got the whole weekend, but we will start dispatching tomorrow. So there won't probably be an opportunity to put in several orders and get your postage combined. You will need to put your order in one go, because we will be sending them out straight away. But thank you very much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Thank you, my gorgeous Kelly from the Netherlands, for doing all my lives and my links tonight. So I do miss her, but I can't tell her that. And I will see you all again soon. So as soon as we're ready to go live again, we'll put up another event post. Make sure that you click going or interested, and then Facebook will remind you that we are live. If you've missed it, then once we finish the live, you'll be able to go back and start watching it again from the beginning. So you never miss out, even if you can't make it actually live. Oh, she's going to make me cry, don't put that. I will see you all again very soon. So don't forget to tap going or interested, and then Facebook will remind you of the live. So take care.